Hi traders, welcome to the new weekly forecast for the trading week beginning on March 3rd. Now, as the new month has begun, so it's time for NFP, non-farm payrolls. And apart from NFP, the second biggest announcement due this week is from European Central Bank. We have monetary announcement from Europe. So let's see how the week starts. And I have scanned a couple of promising setups. So without wasting much time, let's discuss them. Okay, so let's begin the analysis with dollar index. So here we have too many lines. So let me clear up the chart and yes, good to go. So I'll start from the monthly frame. In fact, I'll directly go to 3 monthly frame and I just want to apply one fib extension here in the bullish direction, which is going to define a crucial level in dollar index. So here we have taken the lowest point and I'll go all the way to the second high as the cycle is completed on the second high, and I'll connect with point C. So when I apply fib extension in the bullish direction, so the first extension target is 0.618 and the price level is 108.56. And currently, if you see, on the basis of fib extension, we have a strong resistance at 108.56, and yeah, everything looks good. It looks bullish. So apart from fib extension, if I look at the histogram, it's running clearly bullish. So 3 monthly time frame, extremely bullish for dollar index. Let's move quickly to monthly time frame. Now on the basis of monthly time frame, again everything sounds bullish because MACD is rising. MACD lines, they are again in the bullish direction and they are rising, creating a gap between the two lines. A positive environment on monthly time frame. Now I'll quickly move down to weekly. Now here on the weekly time frame, only on the weekly time frame, I can see that the histogram is currently negative. So it means there should be some more pullback before we see resumption in the bullish direction. Now, but the problem is when I move down to daily time frame, it again turns bullish. So right now we've got a new bullish crossover on the daily time frame. So let's apply fib retracement from the lowest point, take it to the highest point, and I have seen that dollar index corrected precisely to fib retracement 38.2 and it has started bouncing back upwards. So most likely whenever we see a very strong bullish trend in the case of dollar index at the moment, the correction does not go deeper to 50 or 61. So in this scenario, we can expect resumption from 38% itself. Let's see how it goes. And a test will be a major test of the resistance for buyers would be at 108.56. I can also draw a falling trend line here, which is not yet breached. So currently, dollar index has to surpass the resistance created by the falling trend line. Let's move down to the 4 hourly time frame. Now, there is a probability, very high probability, that on the 4 hourly frame, dollar index reaches and retests the falling trend line, and there should be one more push down because on the weekly frame, it's still showing negative. Rest on 4 hourly, on daily, everything looks bullish. So we have more confirmations in the bullish direction, and I can also see here bullish divergence formed. And after creating divergence, the buyers have created the BOS. So there could be a retest of the falling trend line. There could be a corrective move downwards and then continuation higher. It's a very high probability. Moving forward, when it reaches to 108.56, again, I'll be expecting a strong resistance at this area. Once buyers, they take over the resistance at 108.56, then there is no looking back and dollar should rise confidently further on. So in the short run, I can expect one more dip and then continuation in the upward direction. Overall, the environment is bullish. The second instrument I have taken is Canadian dollar versus Japanese yen. Now, in the recent weeks, I have seen yen getting stronger and Canadian dollar is not so strong in comparison to yen. So let's come back to monthly frame. So basis on the monthly time frame, I'm going to apply the first fib extension here. So I'll start from the lowest. I'll connect with the first high and higher low, and I'll apply one more time. So I'll start from the next one here. I'll go to the first high and again a higher low. So here we got the duplication. So this is the duplication I'm talking about. So it is a very, very strong resistance area. Now, based on monthly frame, it crossed the resistance zone, magnet zone. It formed higher highs with bearish divergence on MACD lines and MACD histogram, and sellers take over the control. And the current environment on monthly frame is extremely bearish. So CADJPY is running in the bearish direction and the momentum is quite strong. Let's move down to weekly now. So coming down from monthly to weekly, now here on the weekly time frame, it's clearly evident that sellers, they have pushed the price lower than this magnet area. Then we got a perfect retest, and now I can see continuation again in the downward direction. And on the basis of MACD histogram, MACD lines, the environment is extremely bearish. It gives me an opportunity to apply second Fib extension in the downward direction. So I'll take the opportunity and use the second Fib extension here. I'll change the color to red. And the next upcoming important Fib level is 101.62. Current price is 104. So it gives a probability to capture the upcoming downside at least 250 pips. Let's move down to daily time frame now. Now, on the basis of daily time frame, I get one more chance to use another Fib extension in the bearish direction. So A, B, and C on daily to be applied. So I'm going to use Fib extension in the bearish direction another time, and here we will get more levels which will form the magnet. And let's apply with a different color here. So let's differentiate, and here we go. So we get again the same level. So 101.49 to 101.6 is the ultimate target I'm looking for. Now, on the basis of daily time frame, once I zoom in, I get to see that the selling momentum is fading out because we have a potential. It is not yet done. So I'm just saying we have potential of bullish divergence here, which means there should be some pullback, but the pullback should be taken as an opportunity to sell. Monthly and weekly, they are clearly bearish. I can also apply another falling trend line here. So we can apply a couple of trend lines here. So this is the first one. And I can also use a second trend line, which is going to be the steeper one. So we have the chance for the retest of the first trend line, or maybe getting a bit more higher, and then continuation in the sell direction. Let's come down to 4 hourly to get the further confirmation. Now, on the basis of 4 hourly time frame, I can see that I have the probability to use one more Fib extension in the bearish direction. So I'll start from the highest of the 4 hourly, which comes into effect after bearish divergence. So entry of buyers, and this is the wave I want to capture on 4 hourly. So I'm going to use another Fib extension on 4H, and let's apply it. So on the basis of 4 hourly Fib extension, we are at Fib extension 100%, and I can see duplication of two Fib lines. So this will act as strong resistance. So I think on the basis of strong resistance, if somehow buyers, they exceed the resistance level, I can expect the retest of the first falling trend line and then continuation. I can also use Fibonacci retracement here in order to check the retracement level. So I'll use from top to bottom, and in case buyers want to correct the market, they want to create a corrective pattern here, we can expect 50% or maybe 61, a false break of higher than the falling trend line, and then continuation in the downward direction. So in short, the plan remains to sell on the rise, and the target is already spoken about. It is 101.50. Invalidation could be a close above 108, which I don't think so. Most likely it should not happen. Let's move down to 1H. On 1 hourly frame, again, I can see bullish divergence. I can see attempt by the buyers to correct the market in the upward direction. So small time pullback is highly anticipated, but again, the plan is to sell on the rise. So Canadian dollar in comparison to yen looks weaker. The next instrument in the alphabetical order is crude oil. And again, I would like to start from monthly here. And on the basis of monthly frame, I'm going to directly apply fib extensions in the downward direction. Why in the downward direction? Reason being, after this lower low formation with bullish divergence, I've seen market creating BOS, and I have seen market creating a very massive bull cycle starting from the extreme low to extreme high. So right now I can see that market is in the downward direction. It is correcting itself. So first of all, I would like to start with Fibonacci retracement here. I'll apply a retracement starting from the lowest to the highest. I have seen market correcting back towards 50%, but the momentum is still favoring the sellers here. So I'm expecting that any rise towards 38.2, which means 77.94, and round off to be $78 mark or maybe $80 mark to be taken as an opportunity to sell, and look for the continuation in the downward direction to 61.8, which is coming precisely at $55 mark. So things are not looking good for crude oil here at the moment. I will move down to weekly time frame. I do not have the choice to apply fib extension on the monthly time frame here. So moving down to weekly, I'll start from the highest. So I've taken into account the highest. I've connected with the first low and the lower high. So when I apply fib extension in the downward direction on weekly, I get to see a very strong duplication here. So coming in between 55 to 57.5. So this could be our first bearish target. Now, if I zoom in and if I notice that here we have another ABC pattern which can be taken into account. So I have one more ABC cycle in the downward direction on weekly. So let's apply the second ABC fib extension in the downward direction. So I'll start from the second A, B, and second C. Let's change the colors again, and going by the second fib extension, we got a bounce from a very strong magnet level. So this is the support, and I'm expecting sellers to retain the control of the market. Reason being, I can see here a hidden bearish formation. So hidden bearish is a type of divergence which basically hints on the continuation of the trend. So the current trend is looking bearish, and the buyers have not even completed the break of trend line. So that's the reason I'm inclined towards the bearish direction. Moving down to daily now. Now let's come to daily, and on the daily time frame, I can see that 67 has formed a very strong support, and currently I can see loss of bearish momentum. So I can see lower low formation with not yet confirmed, but there is a probability of bullish divergence. So any which ways, if you see buyers taking the control in the short run, then the first major level is 74.83, followed by 78. And if you see a rise towards 74.83 to 78, again take it as an opportunity to sell coming from the higher time frame. Moving down to 4H. Now, on the basis of 4 hourly, again, I can see the pattern of lower highs and lower lows all over. And I do not see any strong signs of reversal here. So only on the basis of the last two lows, I need to mark it. Yes, so on the basis of the last two lows, I can see bullish divergence, but the buyers have not yet completed the breakout structure, and they have not even completed the break of trend line. So trend line is not yet broken. So the first probability is that buyers can take the price towards 72, 73. And best case scenario, I can expect a move towards 74.8 or round figure 75, and then continuation lower. Once we see a break below 67.5, then crude oil should quickly run towards 55 to 57.5. Moving down to 1H. Now on 1 hourly frame, I can see the things are bullish. Reason being, I have lower low formation here with continuing style bullish divergence, breakout structure. So only on 1 hourly frame, I can see buyers have the control. So I will use 1 hourly frame to apply fib extension in the bullish direction. And here we go. So on the basis of 1 hourly bullish Fib extension, I can expect 71.14. Best case scenario, I can expect 73. So any rise towards 71 to 73 to be taken as an opportunity to sell coming from the higher time frame. Again, a mixed pattern on 15 minutes, but overall the direction remains short-term bullish, but long-term it's bearish. The next instrument. Now, in the recent week, I have seen that the Pacific currencies have been hit the most because the overall risk environment is fading out globally. So people are diverting funds towards safer assets, and Pacific currencies are taken as high risk assets. So I have seen money flowing out from the Pacific currencies and money flowing towards the European currencies. So GBP AUD remains bullish. And let's go by the chart. So I will start from monthly again here. Now, basis of monthly time frame, I will quickly apply two Fib extensions in the bullish direction. So the first one is applied here in the bullish direction, and I'm going to apply one more time the second Fib extension in the bullish direction. And here we have a very strong band of resistance which starts from 2.0449 to 2.11. Again, it's a very big range, and the momentum on monthly time frame is extremely bullish. MACD, histogram, MACD lines, they are rising with full momentum. I'll move down to weekly now. And on the weekly frame, I get the opportunity to apply another bullish extension. So let's use it. So I'll go from the lowest. I'll try to pick the bigger cycle. So I'll skip the first high and I'll connect it directly with the second high and the second higher low. And let's use a different color here. So the blue lines are representing weekly Fib extension. So a very strong number, very strong zone is coming between 2.0449 to 2.07. So I believe 2.07 is the target to look for, and let's highlight it again. So the darker box inside the bigger one is the ultimate zone I'm looking for. Based on MACD, everything looks extremely bullish, no signs against, no divergence, and buyers are in full control on the weekly time frame. Do we have the choice to apply another Fib extension? Yes. So I'll use another Fib extension on weekly, the second on weekly, and let's apply it. Let's go and change the color to black. So going by the duplication of lines, again 2.05 to 2.07 is the target I'm looking for. So here, this is the highlighted area. I think let me change the color here to green. Okay, so the green zone is the target I'm looking for. Now I'm moving to daily, and even on the daily frame, I do not see any signs against. This currency pair is continuously creating higher lows. So going from this level, we have a low, we have higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, all around in conjunction with higher highs. And currently I can see the market is in the grip of buyers, no signs against. Let me go to the next lower time frame, that is 4H. Now even on the 4 hourly basis, the environment is extremely bullish, but the market looks extremely overbought and overpriced. At the same time, I'm expecting a pullback here. So I've used another Fib extension on 4 hourly chart. I've changed the color, so we can expect for a short-term pullback, maybe towards 2.01798, or maybe a bit deeper towards 1.99, and then I will take it as an opportunity to buy. So let's say if I want to go long somewhere here in the middle, I can expect to protect my trades by plotting a stop loss lower than the rising trend line, and the target is 2.05. So we can easily make around 1.75. If you go with the optimization by entering into the market after pullback, you can even optimize your risk versus reward if you get to see a better discount here. So we can expect 1.75 to 2x in pound AUD, and the direction remains bullish. I'll quickly move to the next instrument. So that is Nasdaq. Now, as I've said, now in the recent days, due to trade war thing, the tariffs announced by Mr. Donald Trump, the hedge funds and the financial institutions, they are moving out from the high risk category, and stock indices are also considered high risk. Now I'll go directly to weekly and I'll plot the fib extension here. So this is the extension, and I'll go directly on the first high and higher low. Then I will quickly join the second fib extension on the weekly here. So I've applied two fib extensions, and I get to see a very strong resistance area here. So this is the resistance formed by the duplication of fib lines. And I can see signs of weakness because I have divergence uh, on the higher highs, bearish divergence, and market starts rolling down. Now, on the basis of divergence, the BOS is going to be quite deep, so we need to look for the break of rising trend line. If you go by the trend line rule, I can start from the end, and here it is not yet done. So we are right on the rising trend line. Let's go to daily time frame. Now, if you notice, the current fall has gone directly to the rising trend line and market has taken support, but the sellers, they have completed the breakup structure here. So I can consider this to be a double top with bearish divergence taken on MACD lines, and the sellers have completed the breakup structure. So currently we are on the rising trend line, and any pullback here is to be taken as an opportunity to sell. So how far it can move in the upward direction? So the pullback could be measured with the help of Fibonacci retracement taken from the high on the daily frame to the recent low here. And I'll move down to Forex in order to confirm. Yes, it seems okay because we have kind of bullish divergence coming up. So this is the loss of momentum in the sellers. So we can expect a pullback. We can expect pullback towards 23, 38, or 50. So anywhere towards 21,200 to 21,400, or if you see a deeper pullback towards 21,600, take it as an opportunity to sell. Let's move down to 1H. Now here on the basis of 1 hourly frame, I do not see any bullish divergence. Only the last two lows can be taken on the basis of continuing divergence, which is not considered very strong. So even on 1 hourly frame, I don't see that buyers have a chance. But anyways, any which way, so if you see a retest towards the trend line, so this is the trend line I'm going to apply. So one is a flatter one, the higher one. The second one is quite steep. So if I see retest of the trend line, this could be our first opportunity, or a sharper bounce or a bigger bounce could be taken as an opportunity to sell from 21,600. But the plan is to sell on the rise. Now, how to derive the target? So let's go back to daily, and I imagine I just need to make an assumption here that the buyers, they complete their retest towards 50, maybe 61. Okay, so in this case I will use fib extension, and we can also apply a fib extension from the previous high to the low and the next high, and I will take into account the bounce again, the second one maybe towards this area, or maybe 61. So we get a very strong magnet here, and the magnet is being formed at 19,990. So currently it is 20,919. So I will take an opportunity on the rise somewhere around 21,400 to 21,600, and we can target 19,900, or in round number we can say 20,000. So plan for Nasdaq is to sell on the rise. Now, as I've said that most of the Pacific currencies are weaker, so New Zealand USD remains sell on the rise. Right now, it is running extremely bearish. On the weekly frame, I can see the only hope with the buyers is that there is a very, very, very tiny bullish histogram, which is not basically helping much. But I have found strong resistance at 0.5766, and the environment is extremely bearish. Moving down to daily. Now on daily time frame, it has turned bearish again. I can see MACD histograms are running bearish, and I can see that the rising trend line is broken. So in the coming days, I would expect a pullback to complete the retest of the broken trend line and then continuation lower. Why I'm expecting a pullback? The message would be completed on the lower time frame. So here on the basis of lower time frame, I have seen bearish divergence, break of structure, strong momentum, and right now it has reached very close to the support level. And I can see the momentum is fading out, the bearish momentum, and there is always an opportunity for the retest. So any pullback, any retest towards 5703 to 5766 to be taken as an opportunity to sell. Now, what is the target? So target could be derived on the weekly basis. So I'll go back. I've already applied multiple fib extensions here, and I can see that we have a very strong duplication of multiple fib lines coming in between 5400 to 5500. So if you'll be selling around 5700, you can easily capture 200 to 250 pips in the downward direction. Going down to 1 hourly chart, I can see the correction has started. And yes, the environment has become bullish on the basis of histogram only. And yes, it can bring some short-term pullback. So let's apply a falling trend line here. So we can expect a rise towards a falling trend line, maybe a bit higher, and then we can take it as an opportunity to sell. To be more precise, we can use as with the help of Fib retracement. So we can start from this high, taking into account the recent low as the confirmed low. Then we can expect 38% to 50% pullback. A stronger pullback will take it back to 57, 0.57, and take this opportunity to go short, and target should be 5500 to 5450. And finally, let's move to gold. So I have to start again from the weekly or maybe monthly frame here. So in the recent days, I have seen some pressure building up, and I have seen correction in gold. So let's analyze from the monthly chart here. On the basis of monthly chart, this is extremely bullish. No damage. Clear gap between MACD lines and histogram is still running bullish. So monthly time frame is still bullish. I will use Fib extension on the monthly frame. And this is the first bigger cycle counted with the help of Fib extension on the monthly frame. I'll move to weekly now. On the basis of weekly frame, I will apply the second Fib extension. And 2554 to 2596, basically 2550 to 2600 is a strong support zone, and it reached very close to $3,000 mark but slipped without hitting that. Right now the environment of MACD lines is neutral. Why I'm saying neutral? Because I can see the blue line has started converging. It has started coming closer to the golden line, and histogram starts fading out, but they have not turned bearish at the moment. So that's the reason I'm saying that it's neutral, not bearish. At the same time, I'm going to use a rising trend line here. In fact, I'll be using multiple rising trend lines here. So this is the second one, which is not yet breached. Let's move down to daily. Now, on the basis of daily frame, I can see continuing style divergence on the top on the basis of histogram, and no other signs against. So I'll use the latest thing, this highlighted zone area, support zone area, and I will use with one more bullish Fib extension. So another Fib extension applied here. Let's change the color. So green and the golden one. Okay. So right now we have a very strong zone at 2831 to 2839. This is the current zone of support. Basis of daily MACD lines, the environment is bearish, not bearish, in fact it is under pullback. So we can also use Fibonacci retracement from the lowest here, and I'll take it to the highest. So until now it has completed 38% pullback. Precisely in the current week it made a low of 2831 or 2832, which is exactly 38%. In fact, slightly higher than 38%, because 38% is seen at 2812, which is not yet done. And let's move to the next lower time frame, that is 4H. And this is the magnet zone, which is now currently providing support to gold. So as I've seen in dollar index, that there is a probability that we can see one more dip in dollar index before it starts rising. So if dollar index dips down, it will definitely help gold to rise. So from the current zone, which is 2831 to 2839, I can expect gold to bounce back towards 2900, and then we can expect a deeper retracement towards 38%, which could be 2812. In case gold goes further down more than 38%, then the next major retracement level is coming at 2767. So in the short run, I'm expecting bounce from the current zone, which it has already started bouncing. I will apply a falling trend line here. So I will use this trend line. So if buyers, they breach the falling trend line, so first probability that it can retest the trend line and continue lower. In case if buyers, they breach the falling trend line, then I can expect a retest of 2900 or maybe slightly higher, and then continuation lower. So short term is sell on the rise only in the short run. And 15 minutes, let's see how is 15 minutes building up. 15 minutes, I can see that I can use bullish fib extension on 15 minutes. I'll connect with the first ABC bullish, and I have a strong resistance at 2869. In case 2869 is breached, then we can see the further fib extension level. So let's use a different color here, maybe light blue color. Okay, so 2869 if broken, then we can expect 2876, followed by 2888, 2895, and finally 2900. If not, then I can see continuation in the downward direction from 2869. And in case if I see a break above 2900, a convincing break, then the bearish plan should be invalidated, and I will see gold marching towards 2977 and finally hitting the $3,000 mark. So this is the plan for the upcoming week. I hope my trading plan adds value to yours. And if you like the plan, if you like the video, if you like my analysis, please show your support and give us a thumbs up. Take care, bye-bye, and have a profitable trading week ahead.